So part two. So big push at the moment. Callum's obviously aware of this. Ollie's something we discussed with him to narrow people's niches. As we go into potentially distressed times, what tends to happen is when loads and loads of people are recruiting, there's loads more opportunities. Okay, let's say there's let's say like in the fuel pandemic. Okay, which was, as Callum pointed out, conveniently right before they decided to release the upgraded fuel. So you've got a shortage of fuel, therefore a high demand, and people need fuel and people are looking for fuel, but you can't get it, right? Same thing, when there's a shortage from a perspective of jobs, loads of recruiters are trying to get those jobs. When there's tons of vacancies, okay, I didn't even need to do much BD, I need to do a couple of calls, I need to send one e-shot, and it's coming, it's easy to get to, right? What the challenge is, as people progress with their careers, there's people in the business here that have retainers, and we've won retainers and we have existing clients. So it might be that we get 50% from them next year if we go into difficult times, which I perceive what we are, right? So we might get 50% less. Okay, so that means we need to do more BD to win them. So that means all of your experienced guys are doing more BD. So therefore, there's less vacancies on the market. You're playing against the top people in the top strat firms, and therefore it becomes more difficult. So what happens is, candidate is always king, in most instances, especially at senior level, but you've got more competition. So if you recruit across, let's say for example, all of aerospace and defence, what tends to happen is the churn of those searches. When you receive a search, there's a firm that doesn't know you've never heard of you before, they're going to measure you on what?
Candidates.
Your candidates. Oh great, Callum, I'm really glad that you've got a load of case studies and that's fantastic, but we've never heard of your firm before, and therefore, you know what, we're probably going to go with no one's been fired for going with IBM. So we'll work with Hydrogen Struzal, Spencer Stewart, Russell Reynolds, Egon Zender, Odgers, whoever it is. So you've got to differentiate yourself and you've got to have a network of people. So when we narrow down in a niche, say for example building products, and we go right within an area, we identify all the portfolio companies in that space and we begin to build a really strong list. When ex-prospects responds to a lead and goes, yeah, we're looking for somebody in roofing products, Callum goes, brilliant. And you're on the phone, you take on the search and you go, do you know what, we don't have heard of you, probably wouldn't go retain with a firm we've never spoken to before, or we've actually got a short list of 3 firms we're having conversations at the moment, and you go, well look, what I can do is let me have a look at my network and share any profiles across with you. I'll get my proposal for engaged search with you as well, but let me show you a bit of an insight into the types of candidates that we have. You then speak to each candidate, of course, because we get permission, and then share those profiles. No prospect cares in the world where their candidates come from. Nobody cares. All they care about is their problem, their issue, and their challenge in filling that search. So whether you're called John, Callum, Jessica, whatever, nobody's interested in your name, your firm, or anything. They aren't going to weep at the end, oh God, I wish we'd placed that job with Sean. I really do. I really like Sean and I'm gutted that we haven't done the search with him. No, nobody gives a So you guys have got to be up there in your niche and people that are in the know. And if you're a person that's in the know and you've got the contacts, you then have leverage. Because they're going to be like, well, these guys clearly know people and they've already got a really good contacts and they haven't even done a search yet. What would they do if they did a search? Well, we've got 5 candidates here. I like all 5 of them. I'd like to probably talk to them all. And then we've got the competing firm that hasn't sent anyone or doesn't have anyone in their network or sent people, but they're all just generalist building products. Well, I'd probably lean towards Callum here. Or all of us got X, Y, and Z candidates. We've got 3 associates, all work for competing firms. These are pretty good profiles. Or we've all got top investment banking experience. We want them in. Okay? And therefore you're going with them. Now, if you work across all of your space, your numbers of candidates, let's say it's 10, right? You interview 10 people, hopefully every week, but one of them's let's say private equity, one's a principal, one's a partner, one's an IR person, one specialises in healthcare, one specialises in industrial. So you're realistically only interviewing maybe 1 or 2 people in the same space every week. Push that out, most people are at 52 weeks, but let's say 40 weeks, but in consideration with, let's say you're interviewing 10 candidates every week, 7 of them are in your particular space, then you've got a really, really strong niche when you're looking to have conversations with prospects, and you've got a real strong play, and you force your way in through good talent, rather than I'm leveraging brand, I'm doing what Hydrick and Egon and everyone else does. Nobody cares where you get your business from. All they care about is getting their problem solved. Do you care whether your car comes from Lamborghini, Ferrari, etc., whatever? All high profile cars, all high end. If you decided to go for a Lamborghini, are you going to cry that it wasn't a Ferrari? No, you don't care that the salesperson missed out. You don't care that you didn't buy from that person. What you care about is what you want. And what you wanted was a Lamborghini, or what you wanted was a Ferrari. Okay? That's an unfortunate fact of life. So we build relationships, build contacts, we'll continue to do that. But when times become hard, your network is your strength, and your ability to be able to deliver becomes more paramount than anything.